So, yeah. So the last video, shit was crazy. But like I said, all this stuff came from like the Scientology of nature. All that prosecuting criminal activity, civilization. You gotta watch that wordplay. Everything came from the science of nature. Being able to prosecute people was only prosecuting people that were being deceptive, deceiving, dimensional, people that wanted to stay depressed and cause havoc and cancerous on other beings. That's why there's more life than there is death is life as well, but there's more life and death than there is dysfunctionality. But dysfunctionality is necessary in order for things to have a way of understanding um, understanding not necessarily holding a standard of what right and what's wrong, because that would also include its right to be wrong, but um or different, but uh like dysfunctionality would coexist in every aspect of every realm that exists as a necessity for us in itself to understand that it has a place of its own somewhere, as we even understand it. Because if we didn't understand it, then it's our right to be for it to be understood, and for us to understand it. But if it was completely dysfunctional and cancerous to us in a certain way, that means it still had to find its way somewhere else. That doesn't necessarily mean we have to kill it. We just have to help it on its way. Now, if it was completely aggressive or a certain emotion towards us, then we would have to kill it in a certain way because it's planning on harming us, and that's our right to survive. It just depends on who's better, survival of the fittest. But we also have more of a right, as well as this dysfunctional being, to understand with that power of its dysfunctional nature behind it as well, to understand that we have to protect ourselves, and that is the light. And that is what I mean by everybody um, having the power of righteousness and the light behind them, because everything has an understanding to protect itself and to have a unified camaraderie when something goes wrong. So overall, everything understands its rights and wrongs. But and that lies on the long lines of the scientific understanding of nature, which is which all lies on the frequency of elevation, evolution, ascendance from innocence to the light, to evolution. But so like I said, so I'm out here. Okay, that's also okay. This is another video, but I should have said that in the last video. But I'm learning how. I should just say, yeah, I'm learning how to embrace every single thing of about me, even everything, um, cunningness, savviness, anger, depression, vulnerability, everything like that. Because I'm out there practicing martial arts, and I'm realizing that everything is one, and I understand that. So I'm punching, kicking, hip throwing, and bowling and shit, yeah, stuff like that. And I'm realizing, even in conversations, just because people get me on this certain thing and people try to, argue with me, and even if I get something wrong, I shouldn't have certain anxiety or insecurity towards anything, because it's like a punch or a throw. If I get hit, that should be susceptible and understood that while I'm in the fight, I'm prone to getting hit eventually. So I have to also accept that as a part of my fighting martial artic reservoir. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of who I am. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, and that goes along with conversation and my arts and my emotions and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That I have to embrace every single last aspect of my existence, and that is everything that I'm a part of. So I have to venture into everything as as genuinely as possible to understand every aspect of my being in order to expand and grow and flourish as much as I possibly can to understand them as much as I possibly can, not to control them, but to become more familiar so I can live so I can uh, live on a broader and more on a more livid I think it's livid or a vibrational expectancy. You know what I'm saying? Like I would understand things more so I can be more genuine, not genuine, but more poised and more statured and yeah, statured in my understanding of who I am. I would know myself more. This also goes along with knowing things around you, which is also a part of you of your existence because you have the hands to touch, see and understand everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's also a part of you. That's another expansion. Also, what I'm doing is that I'm looking in the stars as I'm learning alchemy and chemistry and sex. You know, all the stuff that I'm spitting. You know, I understand that plants sleep and the sunlight has electronically charged the particles in the air. Everybody feels it. Even if it's cold outside, you still feel the warm. It can be cold as Chicago up in this mud. You can still feel you can still feel the warmth from the sun. It's very hard to put it in words or comprehension, but you can actually like right now you can actually feel it's cold out here. You can feel the sun, this the electronically uh, the electro particleized charged energy that the sun left behind out here as it was here all day. You know, um, it almost feels like soil. That's actually what it feels like. It almost feel like sun oil that's just in the air. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I do know that plants sleep, and I do know that plants sleep, and if these lights weren't here, they'll probably get some moonlight. So people were kind of asking what exactly do plants do at night. You know, they sleep, but they also gain energy like milk from darkness, and they actually they get a different type of energy from the luminescence of uh, the color darkness as well. You know, we can't just rule out just because we've been having lights around here. You know what I'm saying, that plants aren't doing anything at nighttime other than just sleeping, and their natural function is to gain energy from um, its natural settings. You know, even we rejuvenate when we sleep. You know what I'm saying? So how can we count these plants out? You know what I'm saying? Animals do the same thing. Everything still gains energy as they sleep, and if plants and herbs and soil natural function when night comes is they do natural biological things that inhibits uh, the cycle of uh, the natural ecosystem to constantly procreate and prepare procreate. Yeah, just procreate, and they have a procreate their existence. Then why wouldn't we believe that we do the same thing under the moonlight? You know what I'm saying? Which we do. We rejuvenate. Um, so and I'm sure we do more than that too. And so this would just, go back to my alchemy and stuff like that. I was thinking that, I'm pretty sure that you can use darkness, the power of darkness, just as much as you can use panels. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's probably even more energy in darkness as it is in like starlight. You know what I'm saying? Because stars are like spread out everywhere, but darkness is everywhere, and that's matter. And nobody's tapped into that, but it's these partically charged sunlight energy that's just sitting around here. that is just not being used, or is being used, and I'm pretty sure it has its own job. I shouldn't be that slow with it and stuff. Well, I'm just saying. Well, also what I'm doing is I'm looking at these stars, and I'm understanding nature a whole lot more. So we look at underwater, we look at grass, terrain, and stuff like that. But you see natural constellations and stars out in outer space and stuff, and it's intriguing because what our ancestors also used to do is navigate the stars. Now, what else did our ancestors do along with that? They named us after astrological constellations, zodiacs. They interpreted calendars, celestial, cosmetic calendars, and stars. Um, in the stars, they've gained what, physics, um, told geographical stories. Um, they gained sciences from stars. What else did they do? Of course they use navigation and mathematics, but we just got that from nature. But they also been able to um, um, I think reinterpret, not like they've been able to interpret ancestry like they've been able to calculate where we came from through stars, um and they were that yeah, so they were able to find which ancestors constellation, which ancestral constellation belonged to each specific tribe. But they also were able to calculate where you actually came from in the tribal star constellations. You know what I'm saying? So this is all came from your ancestors, and that's all they really used to say. So all this stuff really does coincide just to reinforce what I am actually saying and fabricating now from just whim through all these experiences that I went through that I thought wasn't as true as I believe, but actually turns out that all these aliens were on the same level as I was, and they taught me and pushed me even further past that understanding, in which I actually able me to see. And now I'm just spitting these words, which will also reinforce the aspect of infinity and you being recreated with the answers already in you. That means I'm one of you who are existing right now as an infant that is growing up. Is going to be me, is going to understand this information because it's common sense once you understand it, once you comprehend again, once you apprehend that comprehension once again, that common sense once again. It's in you to understand that stuff. Just to keep myself humble. You know what I mean? It's crazy. This is all of what they said. I said it right then and there without a single book. Without a single book. I understood. I saw a couple shows. You know what I'm saying? Read a thing or two, looked into certain things, and actually looked at the sciences of everything. We understood and recalibrated, and bam, it's all true. All true. That's dope. So so just like how you be in tune. I'm just gonna jump back into this. Just how you're in tune, like Jamaican dancers, like that dude from Eddie, that dude from Tekken, Eddie, who was dancing. Like people that use dance moves as like their fighting styles. I had to understand that I had to be harmonized with myself in order to. I don't necessarily dance, but I flow like basketball, and my raps and just my element and stuff, and I do stuff like that. I'm cool with that, but I understand now. I had to break every emotions in me. You know what I'm saying? You got the drunken master, goofy, sphinx, jinx like people. People that do mind moves like Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z, and all types of deals. You know, they all use different aspects to fight, or Naruto and stuff like that. Like those are all their elements, and they fight with those styles. That's what makes everybody uniquely special. That's what makes everybody real special and stuff. So um, I just what makes you special is you embracing every single thing about you. You know what I'm saying? Okay. About me and Shawty though, like I met old girl offline, came over, fine, fine, cleaning up a comment. Where's my planet? But she was real bad in um she was real bad. Also, I'm proud of myself doing these videos. There's a lot of like people that know Malibu Most Wanted, but it's a lot of young kids. It's a lot of a lot of people just coming into hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? We're coming at a time that we no longer have control over how people consume our stuff, and there's a lot of people getting in the game that's really not, you know, holding that honor up to par. So we really have to continue to fight to keep authentic, authenticity in our genres. You know what I'm saying? Um, while keeping it free in international, while keeping it free and able for anybody, any genre to come in to hip hop because we all accept it. You know what I'm saying? But we all got to keep it, honorable. You can say and do whatever you want, but you gotta keep the line of intelligence and relevancy and just the flow of the people and the real in our culture because it's about everybody and everybody's talent and stuff like that. That's what real hip hop and rap is about is expression through all aspects of your talents and we provide a platform we provide a platform for that. So I'm just saying, like, a lot of people. The reason why I'm doing these videos as well is to bring people even, further up through where we came, what we have forgotten to modern times now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just speaking the real, so people can re-understand where they came from and what the real is out there and what really happened and what how they can use that today and even moving forward. Like I said, people don't even have to see this, and somebody might even feel me, and they become a hero, they become a hero, and they save us all and stuff like that. And we appreciate them and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But you crucify, prosecute, fight back any alien with knowledge, with biotechnology, chemistry, voodoo. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same thing. Sorcery, all the same thing. Um, but I met Shotty online, right? Kundalini, y'all in depth with the Kundalini. You can find out the truth. You can talk to your ancestors through the Kundalini. Open up a stargate for chemistry and biotechnology. Talk to other portalized beings and stuff. Like, hey, sorry what the Ghostbusters did, but I'm kind of old. But like I said, like I met Shotty online, and the girl was fine and stuff. And I haven't had sex since like I said before. I think I talked about my other videos, and I haven't had sex in a while, and I've been on the diet for a minute. Boy, talking about I'm laying it down now. Like I got with another female, and I was just trying it because I was like, what? Nah, this is probably just one female. You know what I'm saying? Like now, I done hit up like one of my crushes. Cause I was like, hey, she is not gonna believe what I'm about to put on her right now. Cause I'm about to get it. I'm about to get it done up in this motherfucker. I can't believe through all the stuff that I've been through, and I fixed myself. I'm at 2,000%, 3,000% KO Kim, like motherfucker, and like that Dr. Sebi's diet and the herbs, like blood, like oh my god, like I'm too on point. Like I'm I'm in there like I'm cutting it down and stuff. Like I said, like you ain't on the right diet. It's kind of hard for you to last and stuff like that. So I'm putting every single last one of these females on game, but until they get there, I'm kind of like I'm making them like blast off, and I'm not even like fully there. You know, I'm not even going full throttle, and that has never happened to me. I'm usually a one hit 5 second quitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even lasting. Like, and Shawty was bad. We females, I'm hitting up like super bad. So I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And my crush is like, when I'm, you know, I think I'm just not finding out she got a kid, and she was just being low key, and she stopped talking to me because she got a kid. But she could tell me something. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be. I would have been mad or nothing. I would have been like, man, that's an honor and stuff. But she didn't say nothing. She didn't even mention it to the kid or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But said she was coming over and shit. But I was like, wow. But what I noticed and like this is how I know I'm still a part of what's going on. Of course I am because I'm still out here. I'm blogging on YouTube. Duh. And we still ain't saved. And I'm still doing my research. And I still got a lot to learn and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? But I can't deny my growth and what I'm understanding, what I've said, and what I'm trying to put out there. Um, so I'm like madly in love with this girl right now. Like this first chick that I met, dark skin, coat bottom frame, tall. She about the same height, like probably like couple, like 1 inch, a little taller than me, like 1 inch taller than me, but super bad. She a dancer, and I don't think she a stripper, but she a dancer though. You know, and she got other hustles too. But basically, like I'm like super on chicken. Like she hitting me up, and that's who just texted me right then and there. She just texted me, and we really hitting each other up like that. And she really feeling me, and saw my work, and you know what I'm saying. I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, man, I really gotta concentrate. I ain't expect to, find anybody or nothing like that. But I ain't for the like. I got in trouble with the aliens. Like, boy, don't you ever deny your sexuality, but also denying your creativity is denying your sexuality, stuff like that. Because it's he, she, and stuff like that. But he, ha, ha. But it was like, but so like she hitting me up, and I'm starting to realize like I haven't even been with a girl for a while, and this is what I want to say right here. So what I noticed, like the it's the religion of the Yoruba is the Orisha, right? And the Orisha is depicted through your chakras and your vortex, your color vortexes, and the Orisha is speaking on like a woman, having sex with you, and she's wishing to the man who is the creator, which is God, uh, but she is Isis, and that is and Osiris is the Orisha, is the man who is the creator, in which they both create in the existence of the existent in the existence Heru, which is the light, the evolution of the sun, which is the DNA of Adam and Eve. It's just reprocreating, recreating, the recreation of light, and Heru's heroes, lights, lightsabers. You know what I'm saying? It's Christianity, Egypt. I'm just saying, but so but the Orisha means like black, or just not necessarily like just saying black people, but just like it just means color god. That's just what it means. It just means elevating light of color god. You know, and it's saying black too. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying that cutting it out or downplaying the word black. It's saying that it's already in the existence of darkness, but darkness is also with the understanding of light in all colors too. You know what I'm saying? The Yoruba had the respect of all titans. You know what I'm saying? All beings. And that was one of my first arguments that I had with the aliens. They allowed me to speak back to some of my teachers because they were telekinetically tormenting me, and they wanted me to say something bad. They got me to the point they were like, "You were afraid of speaking to aliens telekinetically because they were scaring the shit out of me." They were like, they forced me to say something back. I was like, man, my ancestors were the Yorubas, and this is what the fuck, this is who they fucking were. Stop fucking talking to me in telekinesis, motherfuckers. They're like, that's all we wanted to hear. Take your bitch ass on, and they telekinetically made me walk away and shit. Shit was scary as fuck. But shit really happened to me. You know what I'm saying? But niggas don't know what I've been through. This shit crazy. Fucking dealing with assholes. Like, do y'all not fucking know what's going on? I don't even fucking know. I'm saying so all right, so yeah. So the Yoruba, so the Yoruba, I was thinking about what the Yoruba means, like you're a bit, but that's what the aliens try to make fun of my ancestors about. But the Yoruba, the Benin being within the Yoruba is really means rainbow. Um, it's like the Euro rainbow, Yoruba, you are a rainbow, you are ba, you are ba, you are the rainbow, you are the colors. That's what it means. And the Orisha means I wish, and Osiris and Isis. Isis goes into Osiris, and Osiris comes into Isis's world. They spoke in terms of titans and dimensions, and every single time Osiris, which would be depicted as a man, would go into is she would go into a dimension, vice versa, and they would have sex in that dimension, and she would Orish, Arisha, and no matter what it was she wished of, it was automatic, and they made whatever they was wishing. This is where metaphysicism and all that stuff comes from Egypt, and this is the science of everything, and eventually that's the biological science of like evolution and processes. Everything that we naturally want, whether we're thinking about it or not, we see and we take notes, and those vibrations hit our lights in our pineal gland, and in a unison, we will all evolve into this thing that we're all foundatively thinking about, in order for our environment to become a better place, or however we believe or perceive or subconsciously, naturally understand we need to become in order to have a better life. You know what I'm saying? So that even if that means becoming telekinetic again, we're gonna start having babies in another couple hundred, 400 or 1,000 years, and we're gonna actually be able to read some motherfuckers' minds around here and find out what the hell's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's real. That's real. That's what we're actually capable of doing. That's what anything's capable of doing, actually. Just to modify itself biologically to meet the dynamics of the environment that it exists in over time. So that's Orisha. That's what Orisha means, and I forgot why I brought that up. Oh, okay. The reason why I brought that up is okay. So I'm fucking with Shawty, right? And this is the same conversation we have, and like she's in my world, and we have this chemistry that's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And like I'm not even trying. It's like I'm flowing with her, and she's flowing with me. And as we messing with each other, um, our sexual activity is speaking to one another. It is dope as fuck. This is where you get the information of people talking about, oh, we was having sex, we was going through the stars. I feel like I was under the water. I was in the ocean. She be like, that's my pussy, baby, and shit like that. Hey, nigga talking about, you was saying that when you was drowning on my dick, shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's so many things, but and when me and my father when me and your father was having sex, you were what I was thinking about. You know what I'm saying? All this is scientifically naturally true. But you know what I'm saying? It is. So this also works metaphysically. As you're not having sex, but you're both thinking about one another, you are still in that person's dimension. Dang, I shouldn't be getting lazy. So it's another game that they played, was this game of Isis and Orishas and being in each other's dimension. Like you would have to go and you would talk, like I said, you couldn't talk to certain male aliens if you weren't speaking to a female, and you couldn't even, like, I didn't mention this part, but you couldn't talk, you couldn't even think straight, which is what people deal with today, what men deal with today with other women and women vice versa. You can't even think straight if another woman or another man didn't come over to you or be attracted to you sexually or creatively towards you, or just come over to you, plain and simple, through any type of attraction or pathway of energy pathways. You couldn't get out of that situation or that telekinesis with that alien woman or man if nobody else got you out of that situation. Now you see it today, people are like, I'm so depressed, I'm having this problem, man, I can't get away from this person, I can't get away from this toxic relationship unless they meet another person. Okay, you got marriages, relationships, people believe they have to be bonded, they don't believe they can mate infinitely. They'll go through a lot of turmoil and a lot of tension with that same person that they want to be apart from, because a lot of their creativity and recreation and recreational recreation with other infinities, worldly beings, other people, other sexes, um, because of this social activated activism to keep you in like singular notes of couples and bondage couples and families and stuff like that. So you have a lot of baggage, and stuff like that, and you're not exploring the full on of your existence and stuff like that. So it's hard to get out of your depression or marriage counseling with certain people, because um, you don't even know of the belief of being with multiple suitors, in which you're supposed to biologically be in, which everybody knows these things scientifically, but they were like, okay, this is the culture, this is what we have to abide by, this is what it is, but you don't even understand. Sorry, but you don't even understand how much that is actually hurting you. But that was a part of the game when I was out there as well. Is that I couldn't get away from a certain being speaking to me telekinetically if I didn't reach another girl, and this is what it is now. But the rules also applied if you liked that girl and she was helping you out telekinetically, and she was like, she knew voodoo, or she knew like certain other aliens that were like jumping niggas or something like that, like, or she gave you powers through her telekinesis that you can fight back, or you can talk to these people without tripping, or you know what I'm saying, or you can have regular conversations, or they gave you telekinetic powers that you could go out into the world and like slow down time. Like, it was a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? They gave you powers and shit. Like, it was like a little game and shit. But it's actually real today. Like, you can't get over a certain person if you don't move on. But it'll be a lot of things that you like about that person that hold on to, but that aspect will lead you over to a next person. You be like, okay, I took this combination. I might lose this part, but I'm gaining this, and this is what I'm looking for. But this is my relationship with her or them led me to this. You know what I'm saying? And that was the energy path that I traveled on through that dimension to get to here. It's crazy. It's all mathematics. It's real though. But man, like I said, let me say this. You can smoke Dominion too. You can smoke Dominion, but I only smoke that shit once, nigga. Like, once your shit straight, don't keep smoking that shit. You know what I'm saying? Say with calamine, that sage shit. You know what I'm saying? That Dominion tighten you up. It'll electrify you even more. But nigga, after I smoked that shit, I start getting like smoking that shit too much. Like, my body was like overreacting and shit. I was like, nah, it fixed me up. It tightened me up even more. It brought me, it tuned me up some more, but it tightened my screws up some more. But I don't need to keep smoking that shit. Hell no. I'll make another batch for you. That shit. Oh shit, I brought that calamine out there though. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Nah, don't be a menace, nigga juice. Same about my mama. But what I said, like, I met Shawty, and when I'm realizing with that Arisha and Isis thing, is that they were speaking that conversation about sexual encounters and shit. Is that you gonna really be, once you leave, you gonna really still feel that person. You gonna take that person. You gonna take a part of that person with you in your dimension forever. And what is sometimes it's gonna be hard for you to leave that person in certain aspects. That's why even now, Shawty keep talking to me, and I feel like I can't let her go. But look at what I'm teaching you guys, and what I taught myself, and what the aliens taught me, and what I'm trying to live by and understand. And even I was doing naturally, but then the world is teaching us today. Oh, you're supposed to be with a boyfriend or girlfriend, but you're allowed to have multiple boyfriends, girlfriends. Don't get mad if they get upset at you, because how the world is, function factored, how the society's factored. You know, other religions and foreigners, these niggas come straight from nature, and we ain't even paying attention to what they doing. They got 7 girlfriends, an apartment full of Somalian wives and shit, Arabian wife. That brings us to the next point, nigga. Don't get in no marriages, man. I think it's time for us to build empires and shit. Find like-minded people, get them to understand the same shit, and just be like, hey, let's get on a couple of shawties, 3 or 4, against 2, and let's start having kids, and let's all of us work. Let's combine our last name or something like that. Invest in some businesses or something. Really get deep in this knowledge, or switch countries or something, and live it out like that. We ain't gonna have a single problem. Every night we have an orgy, we keep making kids. Own some land, grow some food. You know, people ask me cousins. Something. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put that shit out there. You know. Yeah, in the 3, actually nosy. I don't even think he moving right. But yeah, like it's hard for me. Like even now that I know that you can have sex interchangeably, shit, nigga, it's like it's hard. I get it's super hard for me to move on. Like I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, the Egyptians were even infatuated and obsessed with sex. But they had in-depth knowledge in which they had to learn as well to constantly elevate them, which is what the pyramids is about. 3 pyramids, Holy Trinity. Elevation between the infant, the adult, male and female. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But it's all determined by growth. You know what I mean? But man, it's stuff crazy. Like it's getting colder right now. But yeah, the particles are still in the air too. But it's what's crazy is that all the stuff is so easy to say, but it's so hard to do or cope with, or you have to be even more diligent, and you have to grow and understand into that existence to actually be able to float with it, to be as elegant with it as well as it's being said and understood. It's all in a growing process. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to float with half of these things until I actually understood them, comprehended them fully. You know what I'm saying? My sex is good now. You know what I'm saying? I can say that. Not saying that was bad, but now I'm equal. I know I'm equal with my sexual counterpart now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not on this bad diet that's putting me in a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? Like now, you know what I'm saying? Now I know all types of things that I didn't know. Now I'm like more comfortable. I have more confidence in my intelligence because I didn't know that I was this right about what I was saying, but I didn't know I was this wrong in the way I was acting towards certain things. You know what I'm saying? But these are all things that I had to embrace. That's including my mistakes, and understand that I need to still keep making mistakes because there's a lot of things that I still need to understand. You know, but but these emotions, like me and Shawty, like you know what I'm saying? I love her, but it's incredible because I love you. But damn, you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Like you love somebody, but you're supposed to be mating with all these people. You ain't supposed to be like. You ain't supposed like. Of course, God didn't give you 1,000,000,000 hands to hold all these people's hands, neither. But they gave you two. You know, gave you two. You supposed to have two. You supposed to have two of them. You know what I'm saying? Like no, you know what I'm saying? You're able to do with as many of them as you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? It's another foundation. Of course, you can find someone special. You know, your vibration can, and you can share many lifetimes with that person, and that's happened biologically in nature, of course, many times before, and it happens today. You know what I'm saying? But it's people's natural nature to multiply with as many people as nature. It's organism's natural nature to 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 copy itself as many times as it possibly can. You know what I'm saying? Of course, that's a foundation. You know what I'm saying? Having only two hands and grabbing the left and the right. You know, so that equals one. But as you expand, so do you. You know what I'm saying? DNA. And as we re-expand and recontract back to the foundation, the foundational connective light. Once again, your expansion, your creativity reaches the ends of the universe because you created that. Your sex did. So you're able to make with absolutely everything. Your DNA will mesh with everything one day. Once upon a time it will. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I can love her. I can love her, but you know what I'm saying? I know Shawty ain't, I ain't she ain't just fucking with me out there. You know what I'm saying? But that's what tripped me out. Like I never got to the point where I got Shawty on my coattail too. And this is something new for me. You know what I'm saying? Martial arts, embracing every aspect of my emotions is like new to me. You know what I'm saying? It's new. You know, being in the conversation and understanding vulnerability and making mistakes, all this stuff is new to me. It doesn't necessarily have to be, an ancient a negative or nothing like that. I can use it to my advantage, but also I have to understand that sometimes that even though a lot of times I'm not wrong, I need to learn how to be wrong and accept those defeats because there's a lot of times in which before I even met those aliens or I knew this knowledge, I had to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I lived the Bible, verbatim verbatim until I understood things more, and now I understand things more. Like you can't even speak that to me now because I know the origins of it now. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I had to understand and I had to accept that. That means all those codes, all those dots that I just said right then and there, all those were me being wrong. You know what I'm saying? I try not to feel it. So like, okay, I didn't know. Like, no, nigga, you was wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. So, so I said the stars. Talked about the stars, and I will always love you. Yeah, I don't know what this says. But yeah, that's real though. It's real though. I think I really I explained enough. It's pretty cold out here, so yeah, have a good night. I'm gonna try to blog some more and try to. I did this because I need to refocus myself because I had a lot of good times and I've grown. I've really grown since my blogs. I've really grown, and I only did like 15 blogs. Yeah, but I've really grown and I've learned a whole lot about myself. I guess that's why all that stuff happened because I was really itching to get some. I got out there and I got some, and I did not know I could do it. It's been that long, and I cannot boy, like I did not know, and that grew me. That grew me. So what I did was necessary to get out of my zone and re-expand myself go over this knowledge, it re-expanded me, and now I have more confidence. You know, my reproductive organ is your reproductive organ is hugely, immensely great. You know what I'm saying? So now I have just, man, it's incredible what I'm feeling right now. You know what I'm saying? You just imagine. But I wasn't that much in deficit with it, but you gotta understand I've been dealing with this since I was a child. Not me. Actually, I've been always cool with females. Not females always trying to holler at me and stuff. I never been had a problem, but you know how it is in society. They were like, man, if you ain't got no sex game, and I've always had some sex game, but I'm telling you, I did not last that long in bed. I didn't have the. I mean, I had the juice, but I never was like just killing them like that. You know what I'm saying? And now, like, I still killed them. You know, I still had no problem going off. But now it's like I'm standing tall with it. Like I'm like a damn fireman right now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's worse than that. Like I'm like solidified in my masculinity when it comes to like sex right now. Like it's killer. But just to reiterate, all that stuff, all that policemen, all that judge stuff, all that everything, all those heroes making these big monologues before they destroy their villains, all that stuff comes from religion. All that stuff comes from voodoo verses, witchcraft verses, sending demons back to the beginnings. All that stuff comes from that, man. All that stuff, all that voodoo is rap. Rap is voodoo. Cipher that comes from the Egyptian. Yeah, that comes from the Egyptians, and like I think that comes from the Catholic churches, and you know what I'm saying. All that stuff comes from religions, bro. All that stuff, real talk. All that stuff came from them actually using nature to fight back, and everybody was, hopping around being harmonious and stuff like that. Everybody was using their art literally to fight back and stuff, like through nature and their own nature, their nectar, their nature, their nurture. You know what I'm saying? They did all that. It was real. So I'm just being real with y'all. Putting y'all back on game. And, you know what I'm saying? Putting you on. Put you on blast. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate the love and have a good night.